Drink Cinema! Cheers. Welcome to another episode of Two Drink Cinema. We are two brothers reviewing movies 2 drinks at a time. Hello, Brett.
Hello, Lee.
We're not going to go off the trivia because we told everyone at the end of March what we are doing for April.
It's Robin Hood month,
And
everybody.
it is Robin Hood month.
Why is he called Robin Hood?
Because he's from the hood.
So
Sherwood.
is Loxley. Wait, depends which version you're watching, but
We are watching today the 1938
Sherwood,
anniversary.
Sherwood is the hood.
Sherwood.
Okay,
Yeah?
right.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he needs like an alias vigilante style like Batman,
No.
because everyone knows him as both Robin Hood and Robin of Locksley at the same time.
Yep.
So he's just Robin Hood.
Cool.
Okay?
He doesn't even wear a hood.
No, he wears a hat
A pointy hat with a feather.
that has a name that one of the movies mentioned that I've forgotten.
Cool.
So the reason we're doing a month of Robin Hood is because out of the 1900 movies of Robin Hood that have been made, 4 of them have anniversaries this year
There's probably more, but yeah.
that have anniversaries.
Yeah, I reckon.
Oh, yeah, the Taron Egerton one
Yeah.
is like 5 years,
Yeah.
but we didn't do that. So there's this one from 1938, so it's 75 years of Errol Flynn.
85.
Is it? Yeah, 85
Yeah.
years of Errol Flynn. And then next week, we are doing the animated Disney.
Yep.
That is 50 years.
Yes.
Then we are doing Robin Hood Men in Tights, which is 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then we are doing Russell Crowe's version,
Yeah.
which I think is 15.
I think so, yes.
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. I think that was 2008. We're throwing our categories out the window and just doing 4 Robin Hood movies.
It's a Robin Hood special.
And we will no doubt talk about all of them at once, but one at a time.
Yeah. We'll try save talking about all of them at once until we've watched all of them.
Yes, and reviewed all of them and you've listened to all of the episodes, dear listeners. So we're now going to start our episode once you've guessed and once we know the trivia and you've got the movie.
Yep.
We're going to bring back 6 Degrees of Two Drink Cinema.
Okay, great.
Okay, so we're going to link the movie we're doing this week to the one we did last week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Great.
So now we have to get
Yeah.
from Errol Flynn, essentially, or Olivia de Havilland, or Claude Rains,
Yeah.
to Brand New Day.
Okay, so Jeffrey Rush is what I'm going to go with.
Jeffrey Rush.
Because I don't think I could go... Jessica Mauboy was in this with this. Okay, Jeffrey Rush can get to Kate Blanchett, Judi Dench.
Yep, okay. Kate Blanchett, Judi Dench.
It's what else has he done? Colin Firth. Guy
Well, what
Pearce.
you need is you need Claude Rains, Jimmy
I can't
Stewart.
think of Olivia de Havilland.
Who was the... I'm just going to be terrible. Who was the woman in Casablanca? It's the
Ingrid
mum of
Bergman.
Isabella Rossellini.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
We've used that before.
Oh,
So we go
alright.
Claude Rains in Robin Hood to Claude Rains in Casablanca, right?
Okay.
Or Claude Rains to Ingrid Bergman
Yeah.
to Isabella Rossellini.
So could you go?
And that gets us Meryl Streep, Goldie Hawn, Bruce Willis, at least in Death Becomes Her that we've done.
Could you go?
Yep.
Claude Rains
Yep.
was in Casablanca with Humphrey Bogart.
Yes.
Was in The African Queen with Katharine Hepburn,
Yes.
who was played by Kate Blanchett
No.
in The Aviator.
No,
Okay.
I think we have to go Isabella Rossellini to Bruce Willis. We have to go Bruce Willis or Meryl Streep to Kate Blanchett to get to Jeffrey Rush.
Meryl Streep and Kate Blanchett, surely they've done a movie together.
Or at least they're close-ish. Meryl Streep played that Australian woman. Was Kate Blanchett in Evil Angels?
Nah. Yeah, she played the dingo. Fuck, she's that good. Nah, this can be done. Kate Blanchett was in Elizabeth with Jeffrey Rush.
Who are the three dads in Mamma Mia?
Pierce Brosnan, a Skarsgård, or a Sarsgaard.
No,
Peter
Skarsgård.
Sarsgaard.
Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah, we're not having this conversation again.
And who's the other dad?
And the third one.
Yeah. Can we get Pierce Brosnan, Judi Dench?
Yes.
Judi Dench to Kate Blanchett?
Yeah.
How? Then Kate
Notes on a
Blanchett to Jeffrey
Scandal.
Rush. Jeffrey Rush to Judi Dench.
They were in Shakespeare in Love
Okay,
together.
so then we're going Claude Rains, Ingrid Bergman, Isabella Rossellini, Meryl Streep, Pierce Brosnan, Judi Dench, Jeffrey Rush.
Okay.
Okay?
So you can do is the daughter of,
Yeah,
but you can't do...
We've done that a lot. No, we can't do played.
I don't like that.
We'll do it better then.
I don't like, on the TikTok filter and people are like, I'm going to link these things. And then it's like, well, Orlando Bloom is married to Katy Perry, who did the halftime show when Tom Brady was on, and he's married to Giselle Bundchen. You know what I mean? That's not real. I don't like when it's like, Katy Perry is married to Orlando Bloom.
They're just
who was
doing links.
No.
We're doing movie links.
Yeah, movie link should be there in the movie.
But that's not what that filter is for.
Yeah, I know. The filter's dumb.
Okay, so
Although
we're going
gonna do it
from
again.
Claude Rains
Okay.
in Casablanca to Ingrid Bergman, who's the mother of Isabella Rossellini.
There's another way of
They were in a
it.
home movie together. Isabella Rossellini was in Death Becomes Her with Meryl Streep. And Meryl Streep was in Mamma Mia with Pierce Brosnan, who was in The Bonds with Judi Dench, who was in Shakespeare in Love with Jeffrey Rush, who was in Brand New Day.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I'm going with.
Okay.
Listeners, if you think you can do better, Brett thinks he can do better.
No, I think there is a way of doing it was in the movies
Yeah, okay.
kind of thing.
Judi Dench's first movie was GoldenEye. Did you know that?
Not first ever movie.
According to IMDb.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, not according to IMDb. According to Actoral.
Oh, Actor doesn't count.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to think on this.
all right, we'll get back to that. Let's do our cocktail. I have managed to find 4 Robin Hood cocktails.
Oh, all different.
Yeah, all different. Because we did discuss that might be difficult and we might have to find a Robin Hood, a Maid Marian, a Sheriff of Nottingham and a Prince John or a Little John or something.
Yep.
But I found 4 Robin Hood cocktails.
Okay.
I haven't read the blog articles that accompany any of them, so I
Okay.
can't tell you how they're related to the movies.
Great.
Or the character.
Sounds good.
This one is the first one. It is not green.
Nope.
It is got white rum, Cointreau, vodka, cranberry juice, lime juice, and a dash of vanilla. Okay?
Interesting.
Shaken and served in a martini glass. The quantities will be up on our socials or up on the screen if you're watching on the YouTube. Let's have a taste. Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh,
Oh, it's sweet.
that's not nice.
I think there's too much Cointreau.
I think. How old's
Too much Cointreau.
How old's the cranberry juice?
No, I think that's fine.
It's not
It's
very
the Cointreau
nice.
and the lime that is a little bit too much. You don't like it at all? I'm okay with it.
Oh, it's vanilla.
No, it's too tart. No, I think there's too much Cointreau.
I think it's just not a good combination of ingredients.
Well, the original recipe had citrus vodka. I'm glad I didn't use citrus vodka because that would make it even more tart.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I would give it a 1.5.
Well, I would have given it a 2.25.
So should we say a 2?
It should be a 1.825.
Okay, let's do that. Let's give it a 2.
I don't mind it.
I don't know. It's just not sitting right on my palate.
The aftertaste is better on the back of the palate than that first sip taste. Okay.
Sip taste. Is that another phrase
Yeah,
now? Mouthfeel, back of the palate, sip taste.
So let's get into the movie. We get the credits at the start because it's old.
Because it's old, yeah.
And I love that. And it is our second Claude Rains movie. And our
Yes.
second Olivia de Havilland movie.
Yep.
The first of the T-shirt you are wearing now. Gone with the Wind.
She's somewhere along here.
Yeah.
I think that's her.
Is on our Buy Me a Coffee.
Ah, yes, it is.
If you want to get onto the Gone with the Wind. So, yeah, obviously she's playing Maid Marian.
She's playing Maid Marian. She's quite good.
She's quite good.
Though she's not really in it that much.
I was wondering if Claude Rains in that opening scene, we kind of picked one to be the camp one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then Claude Rains threw that out the window.
Yeah, he was like...
I totally thought the camp one in this month would be Carey Elwes. But Claude Rains has just come on with that wig.
Yeah.
And
With that wig.
out-camped anything Mel Brooks could have put in for Men in Tights. Prince John's not straight in this movie.
I don't think he's straight in any of them. Certainly the animated one from memory. But yeah, interesting. Because what I was like, it's like I forgot or didn't know in some way. Maid Marian is somehow royal and related to Prince John.
She's Lady Marian. I don't think she's always related.
Well, I feel that she is in some way, but I don't know if they said how. So I was like, Prince John, why don't you just marry Maid Marian? But,
Well, that would have been unhappy in a number of ways.
well, it was the olden days. People got married because they had to.
That's true. As opposed to now, people are getting married so they can save money on their heating bills.
Yeah,
Split the rent with someone.
yeah, exactly.
Very different.
They didn't have heating bills in the 12th century.
No, they just had to chop wood for the fire.
And pay their
Huge
taxes.
castles.
Maybe they married so they
Huge
could split their
castle.
taxes.
Oh, yeah. An alcoholic point, he spills that glass of wine.
Yeah.
And the music is like
Dum, dum,
blood.
dum.
The music is like it is blood dripping down the table.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that like meant to show that he's like murderous?
Yeah. I don't know. It was interesting.
So in this movie, at least, we open with Prince John
Having some dinner.
having some dinner and having a wine. So that's another alcohol. That's the alcohol point. And kind of outlining his plan to usurp the throne from King Richard.
Yes.
We get a little story.
We get a little page of the book.
saying that he's off in the Holy Land in the Crusades.
Mm-hmm.
Off to kill some infidels.
Oop.
Which is interesting.
Awkward.
In the 12th century.
Do you know this also holds a record for the largest candle budget in Hollywood history? There were so many candles. I get it. It was the olden days. You had to have candles. Electricity wasn't invented yet. But my God, there were a lot of candles. And big candles.
Big candles.
Like
Big candles.
humongous candles.
You know as well, this movie used all 11 Technicolor cameras that were in existence.
11.
Yep. Every
Wow.
day they borrowed them. They sent a guy
Gosh.
down to steal an ambulance, like in Babylon, to borrow all 11 Technicolor cameras,
Yep.
use them for the shoot, and then they had to give them back at the end of every day.
God.
I don't know if that's an impact or just a fact?
Maybe it impacted the fact that then they were like, fuck, we're going to need more cameras.
Yeah. Next year,
Next year.
we're going to need 12.
Apparently they're making this Gone with the Wind movie. They're going to need more than 11.
They certainly are. And this Wizard of Oz. There's lots of colours in that movie.
Yes.
So he outlines kind of the plan, and then everything in the Saxon area of England goes to shit within half a scene.
Yeah.
People are in jail,
Yeah.
and then we're like, oh, fuck, who's going to help these Saxons?
Yeah.
And then in a very golden age of Hollywood shot,
Yes. Yeah.
we're like, Errol Flynn.
Errol Flynn on the screen for 30 seconds.
Standing just on a fallen over tree.
Just hand on hip.
Hand on hip, tights on,
Yeah.
ready to rob from the rich. Oh, that laugh. That laugh. Wow.
Killing deers and...
So this was based on the ancient Robin Hood legends.
Uh-huh.
Did people know the stories before the movie came?
Well, that's what I was thinking. There was one movie before this, like in the 20s. It was a silent movie.
Okay. So there was just a card saying, ho, 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 ho,
Yeah.
ho.
No. Yeah, so... But I think this, was like, oh, Robin Hood's a thing now.
And the adventure story of Robin Hood is a thing.
Yes, and the whole look of him and the pointy hat with the feather and all that kind of stuff. He's a good sword fighter and a good archer.
It's such... Well, apparently Errol Flynn was quite a swordsman on and off the stream.
Ooh.
The story is very adventure-y, but they're also like just rah-rah fun adventure.
It's very just like, oh, whatever. But it's a big issue at the moment with, the prince usurping the king's throne. But let's have a jolly good time while we're at it.
And then even when Prince John is sitting and having dinner with the Sheriff of Nottingham, they're just like, oh, all those Saxons hanging from those trees.
Oh, let's hang another one.
Yeah. It's very jolly for as brutal the talk is.
Yeah.
Like, oh, poke someone's eye out. Oh, hang another one. Oh, more ones in our prisons. We're going to hang him instantly. Then they're going to not instance the next day.
It's interesting.
It's a very jolly.
It's like light-hearted death. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah.
But we'll do that. We'll call it that.
So we get our first scene establishing Prince John, and then we get our first scene establishing Robin Hood.
And he's such a good guy. And
Because he saved that guy who killed the deer.
Yeah.
And that guy was going to be put to death.
But then Robin Hood doesn't because everyone's scared of him.
Well, he takes that deer in on his shoulders and just whomps it on the thing, which will be like, cool, venison, another course to the dinner.
Thank you.
Thank you for delivering us a prime venison.
Yeah.
But they're not happy about it because it's Robin of Locksley. And because they're racist against the Saxons. We'll talk about that in representation.
Very much so. And then Maid Marian's there for whatever reason. Of something, she's staying there with them or something.
She's travelling with Prince John. Because she's the royal ward.
I'm just confused with the relationship.
I don't think it's talked about much.
No. Because wasn't it all like you should marry Guy of what's his face from Gisborne?
Yeah, Guy Gisborne, who is also the Sheriff of Nottingham, but not called the Sheriff of Nottingham in this movie.
No.
So I'm going to try and call him Guy, even though he's the sheriff.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to try.
Okay.
The castle is very impressive, though.
The
set of that castle.
Set's ridiculous.
They were very good with sets back in this day.
And that's all just like plaster. I don't know if it is.
Styrofoam they cut out and painted concrete colour. It's not true. They didn't have styrofoam in 38. Maybe they did.
Maybe they did. Maybe it was stone and wood. It was probably wood, Brett.
Thanks for correcting yourself then.
Yeah.
They just built timber and plaster walls into a castle that works and looks very good. There's lots of talk, but then some very simple lines. Like Robin Hood says, "Oh, Longchamp is meant to be looking after the joint."
Okay.
And then Prince John just goes, "I kicked him out," and then just moves on.
Yeah. And just
Like no
okay, thank you.
details about how he's now the regent.
Yeah.
I kicked this guy out. Move on.
Yes.
And now I'm here to tax the shit out of you dirty Saxons. He doesn't say dirty, but it's implied.
Yeah. And Marion's not a fan of Robin when she sees him for the first time.
Because he's a dirty Saxon.
It's dirty Saxon. But then she sees him fight and she gets a little bit excited, I think.
He's a good-looking man, Errol Flynn.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all knew that already.
Yep. Oh, Errol.
Oh, Errol. And she would do anything just to be with him after she sees him with the sword fighting. The sword fighting is very good, but it's clearly sped up just slightly.
Yeah.
Like, it's not sped up, but you can clearly tell that they've just made it 28 frames a second instead of 24.
Yeah.
Which I imagine in the time wasn't noticeable, but made for very good sword fighting.
Because Basil Rathbone, who played Guy of Gisborne,
Yes.
he was a fencer, a quite accomplished fencer. Is that what? That's
Yeah.
right, fencer.
It's not fence maker because they're the ones that
No,
install
but like
fences.
fencer. It just
Fencer.
doesn't sound right. He was good at fencing. So he was
Okay.
already good at fencing and apparently taught some of the others a thing or two.
Well, and I think that shows. Because I think Errol Flynn is quite a good swordsman, as I've said, on and off the screen. But on the screen, as we're reviewing today, he is good at the fighting.
The noise, though,
Yeah, the sound
of the swords just clink, 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 clink.
the Foley doesn't always
Where are those
line
metal
up.
straws?
And
Clink, 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 clink.
Yeah, it's very basic Foley art in that one. But it still looks good.
It still looks good. It's well choreographed.
And
I think
sets
that's
up.
why, I don't know if that's why it's got two directors.
No, one got sacked.
Oh.
One got sacked because I think he didn't want to work with Errol Flynn.
Ooh.
I can't remember what I read. No, someone else was going to play James Cagney.
No.
First down to play Robin Hood, and then he didn't or couldn't do it, so they got Errol Flynn. And then I think Errol
Lucky for
Flynn
Errol
clashed
Flynn.
with the director,
Oh, okay.
and then the second director came in
Right.
and finished it off.
I thought it was like, because there was a lot of fighting, maybe, like how West Side Story has two directors and one's kind of the choreographer. That kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But that story's better.
Like
I
our
can't
old-
imagine James Cagney.
I'm pretty sure it was James
I
Cagney.
feel like he's too short.
Yeah.
I don't know why I feel that. Maybe because he's not 6 foot, whatever Errol Flynn is.
Errol Flynn does have a presence.
Yes, he's quite got an on-screen presence. Fucking hell. It's the first drink.
An error in that first fight, though.
Yes.
He shoots lots of arrows, right? And they all fall over when the arrow ends up in their chest.
They go, oh.
Except for one, gets shot, takes a step, then reacts.
Yeah, goes, oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've been shot. And then falls over.
Leave it in. We don't have time to do this again.
Yeah.
Leave that one in. It's fine.
Other than that, it's good fight sequencing.
Yeah.
And it sets up the adventure kind of fighty of the movie, which is good.
Oh, it's good.
Then Robin Hood gets away
Robin Hood gets away, of course.
and then decides to create a band of merry men.
Yes.
The first one of those merry men that he meets is Little John or John Little.
Yeah. Whatever.
And they
Little
do,
John. He's not little.
They do the essential fight with the staffs on the bridge.
But he already knew Will Scarlet. in the biblical sense.
Oh, 100% he knew Will Scarlet in the biblical sense.
I would love to know
Horny point.
what creature in 12th century Sherwood Forest has those big, bright red feathers that Will Scarlet has in his hat. I would love to know what animal
Stole
that
it
is.
off the local drag queen.
Yeah.
He did.
Gosh.
Big, bright red feather. Peacock? No, they're
Because they weren't,
very
they
distinct
weren't just like,
feathers.
a bird feather length. They were like full, freaking gigantic, extinct Jurassic Park bird.
Maybe that was how gays in the 1100s was like the symbol.
Oh,
like it used to be in the 80s, you pierce your left ear or whatever.
Right.
In the 1100s, if the bigger the feather,
The bigger the feather, the closer to God.
the gayer you are. And
Right.
I don't want to say hanky code, but
Yeah. Red means...
no, red actually doesn't mean good things.
So you're saying that
He's Will
he
Scarlet.
was just cruising?
Red is
He was
Will-
just cruising
Yeah,
in
he was.
Sherwood Forest.
He was cruising
and
in
he's
Sherwood Forest.
Next minute, he's in a band of merry
And
men.
then Robin Hood says merry men, and Will Scarlet goes, well, that's exactly what I'm fucking here for.
Yeah.
But wrong kind of sword fighting. He's also a good looking man, Will Scarlet.
Yeah, I don't know who he is.
He didn't go as far as Errol Flynn. He went far with Errol Flynn.
Oh, gosh.
But
Get over it.
that's just what everyone says about Errol. Little John gets called a lusty infant by Robin Hood.
There's a lusty infant.
There's
I
a
don't
lusty
know what that
infant,
means.
and I don't know whether to put it as insult or horny
Yeah. Both?
or endurance.
Endurance? I don't think we call people lusty infants anymore.
We certainly don't call infants lusty anymore. If anyone's listening
an
from the
interesting
1100s or an 1100s expert, I know someone who speaks Old English.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, I knew someone who lived in the 1100s.
No,
Encino Man.
she speaks Old Infant. No, she speaks Old English. I should have asked her what it meant, a lusty infant.
This isn't Old English. This is old Hollywood writing where you couldn't say things, so you had to write it a different way and call people nincompoops.
Yeah. So what are we deciding? Is lusty infant a horny point?
I think it's not an insult.
No.
I don't know if it's horny. It hasn't endured. Maybe a horny. Lusty is horny.
Yeah.
So,
But
I don't
lusty
know.
can mean like energetic.
yeah. My favourite bit when they were going around, destroying the town
Yeah.
is that they destroy a wine barrel and then fill up a big, mug with wine.
Oh, yeah.
And then just splash it on people. Instead of, beating them with wine. It's like, what the hell?
I'm going to drown
Police brutality in the 1100s.
I'm going to drown you with a mug of wine.
Yeah. It's a great alcoholic point, though.
We meet Little John, the lusty infant, with the obligatory. Well, it's not obligatory in 1938 because every movie since has had one. So this one is
lusty
the one
infant?
the staff fighting.
Oh, right.
This is the movie that made it obligatory.
Yes.
For every film since. Then we meet Friar Tuck, who's there eating like a whole mutton or something.
Yeah. A lot of mutton going round.
Well, I think it was affordable when you didn't have taxes because you couldn't kill a deer.
A deer.
So maybe the old sheep that just died on the roadside was what you had to eat.
And it's just wild sheep, all the farms. You weren't going to steal it from a farm. You just were like, it was like, oh, there's a mutton.
Yeah. The farmer was just like, oh, this sheep's too old to take care of. Off you go, run off.
Yeah.
And then it falls over dead on the side of the road. Friar Tuck picks it up, roasts it on a fire by the river, and then eats it and falls asleep. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how they meet Friar Tuck. It's all very random.
And then they have
we
another-
need spiritual guidance.
Sword fight in the river.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty good sword fight.
Except there was a mistake. It was a continuity error.
What?
They were like, go, walk me into the river. And then it cut back to Friar Tuck and Robin Hood. And the bottom of Friar Tuck's robes were already wet.
Oh. I thought you meant that Robin Hood said, you have to carry me across the river because I don't want to get my feet wet. And then Friar Tuck took 2 steps into the river and Robin's feet were in the water.
Yeah. That too. But hey, that's fine.
Then they all attack that convoy of money,
Yeah.
which is another big rah-rah sword fighting.
Hey, let's all...
They jump out of the top of a tree and just land
Yeah.
on a horse or on
They're
the ground.
merry men.
Oh, okay. So the merrier
Gymnasts.
you are, the better you can land out of a big tree.
Because you're merry and you're all like, la-li-la. You're just like, bloop.
Maybe it's that big fake feather.
It helps them.
It's a bit
with,
parachute.
like, yeah.
Yeah. And you little helicopter down.
Yeah.
Well,
But it is funny again. It's just like, we're just having a good time going around killing people.
rah, rah, rah. Sword to the chest, you Prince John Guard.
Yeah.
We're going to take your money.
And then there was a really good shot of there's people in like a pub or something, and this guy is sitting there near a candle, and then they shoot an arrow and it goes over the candle and shoots him in the back, and the candle goes out. It's quite a good shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like that.
That was one good shot in an hour and half.
There you go.
An hour and a half?
That's
No, it's a
another good
long
shot.
one, isn't it? It's long. I can't remember.
Hour 40, I think. It's
They
the
all-
longest of the 3, I believe.
So then they kidnap Marion.
They kidnap everyone, yes.
And, yes, the others. They make the others dress up in the crappy robes.
Yep.
And they all have a lol about it.
Uh-huh.
About it.
Mm-hmm.
But then the Robin takes Marion into the slum of Sherwood Forest.
Yeah, and she's all like, look at the poor things. I'm a good guy. Look what I do for these people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I still got a bit of a vibe of like the merry men are feasting.
Yes,
Are
very
the
much
poor
so.
people feasting?
No, it's like we're getting a mutton each.
Yeah.
You're getting a mutton for
Your family.
everybody else.
Yeah. I still, like, I know Robin Hood's all about equality.
It was still very much a class disparity.
Well, he is still, even though he hates Prince John, he still is landed gentry.
Yes.
So he would still have that I'm better than everyone vibe about him.
Yeah,
and
which he
those
does.
values.
Very arrogante.
Yeah. And that comes across because I'm sure those poor people aren't eating as much as Little John.
No.
And let's face it, Little John doesn't need as much.
Nope. Although bigger people need more food to stay big.
Oh, and we want Little John to stay big because then he's a better
Because
fighter.
then he's like the muscle.
Yep.
Yep.
Then we go back to Prince John, and there's more like rah-rah fun music and laughing, but they're talking about cutting people's tongues out, burning them and hanging them.
It's like, oh, we'll cut out their tongues and hang
And
them.
the music's like, oh, we'll cut someone's tongue out. Like, it's very... I found that disconnect very odd.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure at the time whether that was like a thing of the time or just a creative decision for the movie.
I think it was a bit of the time. The movie is very like how to show what an old Hollywood movie was like.
Yeah.
In like the type of shots and the acting and
Was it
the
for
music and
adults?
stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
pretty sure it was for adults. There's a lot of death in it.
Yeah, but like it was all fun death.
Yeah, death was fun in the 30s.
Well, I guess
Before World War II, death was fun.
she just come out of the depression. Maybe that's better. Maybe people wanted to watch. Like now, everyone on the internet's depressed.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why death was so fun in the movies in the 30s. Because of the depression.
Yeah.
The Great Depression. Not
Well,
the
it's just-
meme depression.
Yeah. It was just like entertainment. Really.
Death for entertainment. Hanging was an entertainment.
Yeah.
As Prince John promised all of the people
Yeah.
in Nottingham. But how they're going to get him is they're going to have an archery tournament.
And it was just like It's not the greatest idea, even though it's now been used in 87 movies
Yes.
and 4 TV series, probably. But it's like, we'll have an archery contest. Oh, okay.
He'll definitely come, and he does.
Because he's ego.
Yeah.
An archery contest?
And then we get to the archery contest. Lord Farquaad brings the golden arrow in. It looked exactly like Lord Farquaad from Shrek.
Yep.
Bringing the golden arrow in, and you get the golden arrow. And is it this one? I can't remember.
A kiss?
A kiss from...
No, that was the...
We've watched
You
all of
get
them.
Maid Marian.
We've watched all of them before we've recorded this one, so we will be a little bit confused.
Yeah.
There's no kiss in this one. You just get a golden arrow presented to you by Maid Marian. That's the thing.
Yes.
There's no kiss.
Yeah. It's very just like... I love that one of the archers' names is Elwyn the Welshman.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like, Sir this, Sir that, such and such, Elwyn the Welshman. Like he invited him from Wales to come and arch.
Well, I feel like
Arch?
I remember when we went to go and see the darts, and it was just like a, showcase. And there was like Michael Van Gerwen had just won the World Championships, #1 in the world. This guy was here, #2 in the world. Simon Whitlock, #3 in the world, Australian guy. And then it was like, and this person won a selection tournament in Bendigo. Kevin.
And Kevin.
It's Simon Whitlock, #3 in the world, former world champion from Australia. His first round match against Kevin from Bendigo. It's that similar kind of vibe.
Who's going to win?
Well, it was actually as exciting as it would have been for Kevin to play against Simon Whitlock and to be playing in front of 8,000 people. Simon Whitlock came up and was like, bang, 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 180.
Yeah.
Kevin came up, bang, 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 9.
Right.
And Kevin was the best darts player in Bendigo that year.
Wow.
So the dart scene is not huge in central Victoria, I'm led to believe.
There you go. You know what was huge, though?
Archery.
The archery in Sherwood Forest.
Even in the middle of what is essentially a war between Prince John and the Saxons, they're going to hold an archery festival.
Yeah, your king is off in actual crusades.
Yeah. And here, there's fighting between the Nottingham police, essentially,
Yeah.
and the Saxons. But hang on, archery tournament.
Yeah. We've got to have an archery tournament, guys. We've got to have some fun here.
Now, I have a question for you.
Okay.
The music for the archery tournament has been used in something else.
Okay.
When you listened, did you recognise it?
It sounded familiar, but then I thought it's just like old-timey Hollywood music that sounds the same.
No, I've been researching since I watched, and I'm going to continue to research between recording and release. This music,
Insert here.
which you're going to listen to now, Short's non-copyright breaching thing, I feel like I have this vision in my head, like the crone in later Robin Hood movies, of the music playing over a studio title.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah?
It's like RKO Pictures.
Yes, but it's not RKO.
You know what it almost sounds like? The start of like the Gone with the Wind, when it's all like it's just coming up. Burr, burr, ding, 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 burr, burr. Selznick International Pictures.
I'm going to look up RKO Pictures music.
No, that's just from Rocky Horror.
Well, no, that's not it.
No, that's Morse code, Lee.
It's Morse code for R. All right, so
That's your goal. That's your homework for the week, is it?
that's my homework. Well, I've been looking and thinking since, but, I've been typing in what else used this music
Yeah, right.
and not got anything. So listeners, if you know, tell me ASAP.
Okay. It
When
does
I
sound
find
familiar,
it-
but I thought it was just like,
When I
old-timey
find
Hollywood
it,
music.
I'll play it to you and you'll be like, oh, fuck yeah, it is. Anyway, for the next 40 minutes, that's all I could think about pretty much for the movie.
Okay, so
So the notes are yours from here on.
I didn't write many notes. From
wrote-
here on, but I wrote that Robin Hood is very good at riding a horse with his hands tied behind his back. He just like jumps onto the horse and he's like, "Go." No steering. Look,
First,
Mum.
though-
It's like, "Look, Mum, no hands."
But before that, he splits the arrow.
Oh,
Another
I wasn't
quintessential
expecting
moment.
that. This was the hard thing when you watch it.
In
You know
1938,
what's going to happen.
Yeah, in 1938, you weren't expecting that.
You weren't expecting that.
But by the time we get later to Robin Hood, Russell Crowe, I assume Russell Crowe's going to split the arrow.
Yeah. Because the archery tournament, there was an old silent movie thing, Robin Hood, but it didn't have an archery tournament. I think it was like a jousting tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was an archery tournament that is in this one, and then every
Everyone
other version
since.
of it now.
It is good, though, splitting the arrow. I don't know if Errol Flynn did it. Probably not.
No, I believe that was probably some sort of setup off camera.
Yeah, true.
But then, right, so the archery contest is over, but they're like, that's him, sees him, and then he gets away, of course, like he always gets away.
No, he didn't get away this one. He got caught.
Oh, I can't remember
They had a
now.
another rah-rah fight scene,
Yes.
and then he gets caught.
Yep.
And that's when Prince John pronounces the campus death sentence I've ever heard. You will be put to death instantly. He basically says instantly, straight away, and right now.
Yeah.
But in 1930s, 1100 speak.
Yeah. Without delay, instantly, and
Immediately.
immediately, and permanently.
But then, oh, actually, it's going to be dawn tomorrow.
Yeah. Sleep on it.
Yeah. Which obviously gives Maid Marian a chance to turn and go to to Little John, not Prince John,
Spy.
and make a little plan.
Yep. And then she creeps down the hall, down the stairs, and spies on
She
them.
hears them.
She hears them. And then her and her old lady, oh no, just her.
The old
Run
lady's
away.
in on the plan.
Yeah. Because she just wants to her to get with Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Because duh. Why wouldn't you?
He's so much better looking than Guy
Of Gisborne.
Gisborne. But even when he's being sentenced, he's all sass, Robin Hood.
Oh, he's still just like, I'm going to get out of this.
Ho, ho, ho. Ah, 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 ah.
And a ha 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 and a ho 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 and a couple of la-dee-das. That's how we did it.
If you're a spy, right? Oh, no, if you're on the baddie side,
Yeah.
or what in this movie is a baddie side, and you came to me on the goodie side and said, I want to help you, all they do is get the priest to come and say, do you swear to God that you want to help us? And Marion goes, yeah, I swear to God I want to help you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, done.
Done. Because that's all that mattered then was God.
True, and if you wouldn't lie to a holy man.
Well, apparently Freitag was there for spiritual guidance for his merry men.
Yeah.
But I believe he was mainly there just for the fat jokes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, fat jokes.
Fat jokes aplenty.
Like, it'll take half the deer in the forest to fill that cavern.
Yeah, what is that?
But then he comes back with, and twice that to fill your empty head, he says to Little John.
He's a smart.
But then Will, the cruising Scarlet, Robin Hood says he's one of us, and Will goes, he looks like three of us.
Chortle, chortle, ha ha.
Then you'll sweat the lard out of that body, my pudgy friend.
It's just... Oh.
But he is sentenced, he is jailed. Then Marion goes and tells them the plan, and then they come up with a plan to escape Robin Hood. Escape's not a verb in that sense. To help Robin Hood escape,
Yes.
which happens. But before that, King Richard is just having a pub meal.
Yeah, King Richard's back from the Crusades, just down the local pub.
Yeah, just at the inn, having a chicken and a
Can I
beer.
get a Palmer and it was Palmer and a pot night at the
Yep.
Sherwood Inn.
And he was very apologetic that it wasn't great. Big candles again, even in the inn.
Big candles. And then, like, the priest guy was just there hanging
Or
out.
the abbot.
He's like, I hate people, or whatever it was.
And then he worked it out that it was the king, which the abbot would have met the king. But I can understand why other people didn't. Because, like, we all know what King Charles looks like now.
Yeah.
But in 1112, or whatever year it is,
They didn't have Facebook.
they didn't have Facebook.
Or TV.
They also didn't have banknotes that had the printed king on it.
No, they didn't.
Although
it's not going to.
no, it's not going to happen.
Here.
Yeah, true. It's going to happen
It will
there. But you know what? I read a headline the other day. This is very old news for people listening.
And
when
also,
it's released.
you know, King Charles would not go and fight in a crusade.
Oh, I thought you said King Charles is not going to last long enough that by the time they change the design and print it, it'll be King William.
Right.
This was the headline I read the other day. Mm-hmm. The new $5 note will not feature Prince Charles' likeness.
Prince Charles
Yeah.
or King Charles?
It said Prince Charles.
Oh, catch up.
They're beheaded now. That
I saw
reporter's been beheaded,
I
so
saw
we don't need to worry
a
about it.
TikTok or a reel, and it was this English girl, and she was talking. She's like, I don't get Australia, right? They're ahead of us.
Oh,
Right now in Australia, it's tomorrow.
yeah.
So they're ahead of us in time. So why aren't they warning us that all these bad things are happening? She was just like, I'm losing my accent. She was just like when Queen Elizabeth died, why couldn't they, give us warning so we were prepared for it?
People are so dumb.
Time difference is a stupid thing, though, when you think about it. Anyway, we won't get into that.
No, but then when you do think about it, it makes sense.
Yeah, you do think about it, it makes sense, but it's dumb. It's
But
weird.
also, we are in the future.
We are in the future.
Yeah.
It
We're
hasn't
very
helped us in
advanced.
any way.
Which is why on our Groundhog Day episode, it wasn't released on Groundhog Day here,
Yeah.
but it was released on Groundhog Day in the States.
Yes.
Back to Robin Hood. Once they know that the king is back, he's just like, fuck it, kill everyone.
It's like, Thingy's back in England. We have to go find where he is. It's like, no, I am King Richard because I'm wearing his robe. Ah,
Yeah.
gosh, it must be.
And then he's like, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him.
Yep, kill him, kill
But
her.
we get the king to safety, and they come up with a very quick plan.
Yeah, they're very
quick,
good at
it's
coming up
just
with
like
plans.
one scene cut. They've got lots of costumes in that Sherwood Forest.
Oh, and very colourful
Because
costumes.
all of a sudden, they're all dressed as holy men.
Yeah, they're all monks or something.
Yeah.
And they all go to, like, the coronation of the king. If I was there, I'd be like, I did not know Sherwood Forest had so many monks.
Yeah.
What is happening?
They all belong to the abbot, but surely you would know that how many men the abbot has.
Yeah.
They had to pretend not to be merry while they were dressed in
True.
black. That was a challenge.
And then old King Richard's like, I'm here. Can't you see? I've got chainmail helmet.
And then there's the big fight at the end,
Good fight.
which is very good fight, except... So, in those days, tables were made out of trees, right?
Things were
Solid
made out of
trees.
very solid wood.
right? It wasn't like fantastic furniture where they've just put some shit
No,
things
it
together.
wasn't these chairs we're sitting on that were
Yeah.
very light.
Yes, that I could carry two in from Kmart.
Yeah.
That little ugly man who the lady in waiting falls in love with,
Oh, the simple...
Yeah.
I
he
don't even know
picks
his
up
name.
a whole table and bench set
Yeah.
and just
Just
throws it
whoop.
over the balcony.
Yeah.
Too much.
Too much. It
does
was
it-
just a bit, yeah.
He does it twice.
His feet of... It's a good, when people are in dire circumstances, they have, superhuman strength.
Okay, maybe.
I don't need to... It's an old movie. I'm
That's
not
true.
going to try and,
One more error in that fight scene. By the time Errol Flynn gets to Maid Marian's cell, his sword is as bent as Will Scarlet.
Oh, Lee.
It was like...
Well, he did a lot of fighting. It hit the
Yeah.
wall a lot of times.
And true, they're forging them in the forest, Not in a
Yeah.
real blacksmith shop.
No.
Yeah, I'm not at all saying the
It's
props
not,
department
it's
was
not
in.
Castle Forged steel. They made it in a bloody lake that they had to heat up somehow and then go, tss. I don't know. I'm not a blacksmith.
It's totally not how blacksmithing works.
Yeah, you put it and you go, tss.
No, they make it in the forge where it's
Yeah,
hot.
and then you put it in the water and it goes, tss.
Yeah, you don't have to heat the lake up to forge.
No,
your
but you
metal.
have to somehow heat something up to melt metal down.
Yeah.
But also they just stole things. They didn't make swords. They just stole it from people.
It's just a stolen sword.
So
Yeah,
it probably
fair enough.
was like some royal guy's sword. Some guard.
The cheap guards.
Yeah, once they shot in the arrows.
So that's the movie. They get married. King Richard's
Yeah.
like, you can have all your land back, and Robin Hood, and you can have Maid Marian.
Yeah,
That's an
she's-
order.
That is an order. You must marry her.
And then he says, if only I could follow all of your orders as joyfully as this one.
That's a
And
bit
then
evil.
they run off out of those huge doors.
Yeah.
And then that's the end.
And then that's the end. Dee, 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 dee.
And
And then it just goes to the end.
The end.
2 drinks cinema.
We are doing the
Dick scares
Archie
people.
Q. De Niro scores for The Adventures of Robin Hood 1938.
Yeah.
Wines at dinner, wines whenever they're eating, big barrels
Big
of
thing.
wine.
They rob people. They have the king's in the tavern. Marion goes to a tavern.
So the A of Archie Q. De Niro is for alcohol.
Yeah. We've already given the cocktail a 2.
Yep. I didn't mind it. It grew on me,
Okay.
but we'll stick with a 2. So the alcoholicness of the movie, it's not really any character drinking.
No, I just want to maybe do a 2 as well.
Yeah, because it's in a few scenes, but I don't think it's particularly character drinking.
No.
2.
2. All right. Cool. Sounds good.
R in the Archie Q. De Niro is R for representation. Racism
White.
against the Saxons. The movie is very white, yes.
I like that it has a gay king in it, though.
Yeah, and assume more than one gay marry men. He's so gay, Prince John.
Yeah.
From memory, of all the Prince Johns I've seen, he's the gayest.
Okay. Let's
What
see
else?
if that lasts till next movie.
Fat jokes.
Fat jokes. That's more endurance than representation.
And Robin Hood is clearly having sex with Will Scarlet.
The representation is a 0.
Yeah. Yes.
We're trying to make jokes and find things, but there's no representation
No,
in it
I
at
wasn't
all.
trying to find anything. I just wanted to make more gay jokes. I didn't cry.
Nobody cried.
I'm the crier of the two of us, and I didn't cry.
Okay.
Horny. Is Marion horny for the guy, sheriff, or just being a bit flirty because otherwise she might get hanged?
I think she's been a bit flirty with him because he's the only guy around who's of a lofty stature, which sounds weird.
Other than the
but
prince
then-
who she may or may not be related to.
Yeah. And back then, even if you're cousins, he would have got married.
That's true.
Royals are still marrying their cousins now.
So true.
But then, she sees Robin Hood with his sword and goes, oh,
Oh, yeah.
guy who?
Correct. So she's horny for Robin fairly quickly. We've already discussed the fact that Little John is a lusty infant.
Mm-hmm.
And Will and, I'll say it again, Will and Robin are having the relations.
Yep, Lee's quite fixated on that one. He's looking up the fan fiction right now.
The man, the ugly little man, says, I've never tickled a woman's fancy before.
She gets horny for him. The
She's
nurse,
so
the,
horny.
The handler.
She throws it around too.
The maid?
Lady in waiting.
Okay, sure.
She says she's had it 5 times.
Gosh.
So she's horny.
Ooh.
The kissing, though, between Marion and Robin Hood was very chaste. Was very closed lips.
Oh, well, it had to be.
Yeah, for the senses.
For the code,
Sure it
the
wasn't
Hays
after.
Code. No open mouth kissing on the movies wasn't allowed.
Sure it wasn't after they yelled cut, from what I've heard of Errol Flynn. Yes, in case you haven't worked it out, Errol Flynn was a fiend.
Was a ladies' man or a lady man. I'm going to give it a 3 for horny.
I'm also going to give it a 3 for horny.
Cool,
we
'cause
score it
we
together.
agree
That
one.
equals.
Good. We're on the same page so
The
far.
I in the Archie is insults. You speak treason fluently. It's all sass.
What a pity your manners don't match your looks, Your Highness.
Oh, she is a bitch though at the start. It's not insulting from Robin Hood. It's just sassy.
Yeah, it's a sassy insult. It's more like, not insult, it's like shade.
Oh,
as
it's
they
shade.
call it.
Okay, yeah,
He's
yeah.
being shady.
It's the 1930s.
He's reading her the house down boots, yes, God. Oh,
It's the 1930s version of shade.
yeah.
Okay, you watch too much Drag Race. Racist against the Saxons, always
Oh,
saying
so
dirty
much.
Saxons, dirty Saxons.
And
That's
this
insulting.
And Prince John's a traitor and Prince John this and Prince John that.
The way they talk about Friar Tuck, we've said.
Insulting, yes.
Yeah, you'll sweat the lard out of that body, my pudgy friend.
Yeah.
When they're in the robes of the holy men.
Somebody calls I think Prince John calls Guy, or Guy calls someone, either you eternal idiot or you infernal idiot. But it's a very like old
Yes,
Hollywood way
yes.
of being like, oh, you eternal idiot.
Oh, you dickhead.
You'll be an idiot eternally.
He is, and dickhead eternally.
Yep. I don't know, insults. I'm going to give it a 2.
Marion's lady in waiting, even though she is horny for the man, is always calling him ugly.
Yeah.
2. I'm
She
going to
knows
give it a 2
her,
as
she
well.
knows her,
Type.
yeah, she knows her standards.
Oh, okay, right. So she's not.
She knows where her ceiling is.
Not something like.
She's not shooting a shot above where she can't get it.
So she's not an Insta model that thinks she's a 10, but she's really not a 10.
No, she knows she's a 2. Oh, wow,
Well,
Brett,
two's
that was
harsh.
harsh. Well, you don't see her
She's
face.
She's not
Oh.
Finn Wolfhard.
You see, snap that fucking filter and maybe get a better nose.
We should snap that filter from Studio 1 to Studio 2 to Studio 3 to Studio 4 to we're still refining Studio 4.
Yep.
We are
Enclosure.
enclosure rounds out the spelling of Archie.
I have a question.
Yes.
They live in the forest,
Yep.
right? Does the whole forest count as their enclosure, or are they homeless?
That's true. They don't have any buildings. I didn't even see any tents.
Only the one that Will was pitching in his pants.
Oh.
Oh, they're all pitching a tent for Robin.
Jeez.
Jeez, nobody's pitched a tent for Robin that much since Batman Robin. Moving on.
Chris O'Donnell. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so what are you... Is the forest their enclosure?
I think so.
But it's not enclosed.
They are living in just one section of the forest.
The Merry Men...
The hood.
The hood. The hood.
Yeah,
They're in the hood. So it's probably a 1.
But the castle,
The castle is a 4.5.
2.
2. We'll compromise on a 2.
Will average it out.
Quotability.
Quotability. The only quotability I had was, that laugh. The way he laughs
Yeah,
is
I
iconic.
can't really remember lines
No.
because it wasn't so much about what people were saying.
It's about
It was more just like, hey, here's a storyline. Okay, we'll put a fight there, 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 and there.
Yeah, that is how you make an action-adventure movie.
Yeah.
So they've done that right. But I think for quotability, it's a 0. If it's 85 years old and I couldn't tell you a line from it, it's not quotable.
Okay. This isn't going well. You know what wasn't around in 12th century?
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke or Pepsi.
Even Brad's drink wasn't around. Endurance. I don't think they make movies like this anymore. Like that.
No, they don't do that
rah-rah.
kind of
Swashbuckling.
swashbuckling type of, we're just going to have a good time killing people. Ha-ha!
Ah!
Yeah. But the story, you know, still holds up. Still getting made today.
True. There's probably another Robin Hood coming out next year. They're probably about to do a live action version of the Disney animated one.
Yeah.
Please don't. Disney, if you're listening, which they're not, because they would have sued us by now if they were, don't do a live action version of a bloody fox being a Robin Hood. Because it'll be fucking James Corden playing Little John.
Friar Tuck, more like it.
Oh, Friar Tuck, yeah, and then I'll burn the thing
Pudgy
down.
friend.
Imagine being James Corden and saying, I was considered for the role Brendan Fraser played in The Whale.
I just watched The Whale.
Even if you said The Whale's the worst movie you've ever seen, there is no way James Corden was considered for that drama role.
You know what he probably thinks considered means? His agent got sent a script. His agent didn't send him the script because he was like, oh, no. Just because you're fat?
No, but his agent probably got sent a script because James Corden might not be the only fat actor that agent represents. The script could have come to that agent for, do you have anyone for this role?
Yeah, as an agent, you got sent that script.
Yeah, and James Corden saw it on the desk and he's like, are you thinking about me? And the agent's like, sure, James.
Yes, James.
Sure.
But whatever you do, don't leave the Late Late Show just for this.
After your role in Cats, I'm definitely considering you for The Whale.
You were great as a homosexual in the Prom movie.
Oh, God.
Anyway, I still think this movie looks good.
Yes.
Like, and all the fighting and stuff still looks good. The sound, as we mentioned, is a bit...
in that time, it was all real.
Yeah. They were
like we talked
real
about
people getting stabbed.
Yeah, except for that guy who took 2 steps and then realised he was shot with an arrow. As we've said about Gone with the Wind, they really fucking burnt shit down.
Yeah, they had to.
So they do that for real here.
Yeah. There was a great matte painting at one point of like they were all on some sort of march thing and it was just a matte painting of the castle in the background. I'm like, oh, God, that's great, Hollywood.
Oh, matte paintings.
You know what hasn't
gotta love them.
You know what hasn't endured?
What?
The king giving a person a woman as a reward.
That's true. And giving land and a wife. Although Marion was in love with Robin.
Yeah. But I'm giving it a 3.
I'm going to give it a 3 also.
Okay.
Even though it looks good, I just don't think they make swashbuckling rah-rah adventure movies like that.
Yes.
Not for adults.
No.
Yeah. E for endurance we just did. N is for nostalgia. I'm not old enough to be nostalgic about the late 30s.
No, not like that review we read before. I wasn't around when it was released. But like you have, nostalgia for the story of Robin Hood, but not this version.
This one.
Maybe the next 2 versions we're doing. I have more nostalgia for.
Yeah.
This one, not so much. I don't really have nostalgia for anything in it, except maybe the music that you can't get out of your head now.
That's true. 0, actually.
0.
Impact. I did very little research compared to all of these notes you've got.
Well, this is what I call copy and paste.
All I had was one copy and paste. The production used all 11 of the Technicolor cameras in existence in 1938, and they were all returned to Technicolor at the end of each day's filming.
Right. What
You say
I
things.
say is, this is the, quintessential Robin Hood
Yes.
that all versions from then on have been based around.
Yeah, like I said before, the obligatory star fight that wasn't obligatory before this one.
So scenes, and this is a quote, scenes and costumes worn by the characters have been imitated and spoofed endlessly. For instance, in the Bugs Bunny animated short film Rabbit Hood, Bugs is continually told by the dim-witted Little John, "Don't you worry, never fear, Robin Hood will soon be here." Great.
Yeah.
Great. Daffy Duck and Porky Pig do one. That's another one.
Oh, well, you missed this bit.
Robin Hood.
When Bugs finally meets Robin at the end of the film, he is stunned to find that it is Errol Flynn in a spiced-in clip from this film.
There you go. Basil Rathbone appears in a Danny Kaye sketch. Robin Hood Men in Tights. Robin Hood Prince of Thieves.
Well, Robin Hood Men in Tights looks like this one.
A fragment of one of the film's sword fighting scenes was converted to sprites by Jordan Mechner and used for his 1989 platform game Prince of Persia.
That's a classic game.
I remember. I have nostalgia for Prince of Persia.
Definitely.
Errol Flynn's acrobatic sword play became a crucial touchstone for lightsaber duels choreography in Star Wars movies.
Oh, very good, yes.
Yeah. And Disney's 2010 animated film Tangled, the appearance and personality of Flynn Rider were partially inspired by that of Errol Flynn, maybe because Flynn and Flynn.
Yeah, but brackets, citation needed.
Yeah, that's just somebody made up. But also, do you know Cary Elwes in Princess Bride based his character off Errol Flynn?
Oh, Cary Elwes based his Princess Bride character off Errol Flynn.
He was like,
not
I'll
his
just
Robin
be
Hood.
like, you know, I'll be like Robin Hood in, what's this guy? Errol Flynn.
Which worked out for him because then he was cast as Robin Hood.
Ooh, spoiler. Impact, I want to give it like a 4.
Yeah, I think... Yeah,
4.
I think it's a 4 just because this made people want to make Robin Hood movies. Although it's a while since they made the next one.
True. And it was an animated Fox.
The next one we're doing. There might have been other
You know
ones.
what I love? I looked up because I was like, Basil Rathbone. I've seen him in something else, right?
Yep.
Or he's a big name for some reason. And I looked up his like credits, and there were a lot of things called The Adventures of.
Okay,
So it's like The Adventures of Robin Hood, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, The Adventures of Jekyll and Hyde. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
everything was just The Adventures of character name.
Well, and Basil Rathbone was a few of them.
He was like the quintessential Sherlock Holmes at this time.
Oh. He was the Benedict Cumberbatch of the 1930s.
No, he was the Robert Downey Jr. No.
Or someone else. Ugh, Benedict Cumberbatch. Rewatchability. I feel like it's going to be hard to rewatch. It was hard to watch because you know the story so well.
Yeah, it's hard to it's easy to watch,
Yes.
but it does drag a bit.
I don't think I'd come back and choose this one to rewatch.
No, I would watch other versions.
Yes, I would watch if you gave me a choice of all of the Robin Hoods, and I haven't watched the Russell Crowe or the Taron Egerton, to be fair.
Right.
Of all of the Robin Hoods that I've watched, it's Kevin Costner's Prince of Thieves that I would watch again.
I've never seen that one, but I heard it was actually pretty bad.
I like it.
Oh, okay. Maybe we should have done that one.
His accent's bad. It's not an anniversary, it's 1991.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. So rewatchability, I'm only going to give this a 1.
Okay. I'm going to give it a 1.5
Okay.
because it's easy to watch Errol Flynn.
Overall, I thought Men in Tights was going to be the camp one. I was wrong.
Whatever do you mean?
Oh. Dun, dun,
Quick.
Oh, I spilled my wine.
Quick, guy. Get me my curling iron. My hair isn't fluffy enough.
No, you
Is this a mullet?
couldn't curl
Is
that
it a
wig.
mullet?
No, it looks like, if you've seen going around the internet, the pictures of whatever hair Zac Efron has for that wrestling movie that he's in.
Where he's unrecognisable.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's Zac Efron in a wig.
Or unrecognisable Shia LaBeouf because he's got a mullet.
Is that the one they're filming in Australia that they're here now for?
Yeah, they're in Melbourne.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
No, that's not Zac.
Oh, no, it's not. I doubt they're filming in Truganina. They were filming
Recording
in
over.
Melbourne somewhere.
I think it's just very like, if you were trying to explain to someone what old Hollywood movies were like and all the stereotypical thoughts on
Yes.
I would show them this.
Well, if you wanted to show them that and they didn't have 4 hours to watch Gone with the Wind,
Yeah. Well, no,
show them this.
Because like Gone with the Wind isn't a typical classic movie in the sense that it was like the pinnacle of things.
Oh, it wasn't common for the time.
It wasn't like, you know, this style of directing and sets and costumes and acting and all that kind of stuff is very just like old Hollywood. Let's make a movie people want to see, blah.
Yeah, okay.
That kind of thing. And the bad stunts.
They weren't too bad.
That was in like the...
Yeah, that was a couple. Fell over.
No blood.
The bent sword.
No blood. Closed mouth kissing.
Yeah.
that kind of
Questionable
almost
sexuality.
over the top acting that was still kind of flowing on from silent films kind of thing.
True.
But very good. Errol's great.
Errol's great. The acting is good, I think.
Yeah. But it's just that old Hollywood type of acting.
But also there was 2 directors, so 0.
I'm overall going to give it a 3.
I'm overall giving it a 3.5.
Okay.
I thought it was lots of fun, rah-rah fun, and that was good.
Okay.
Okay? So what's our total score for The Adventures of Robin Hood for 1938?
Our total score is 36 out of 100.
That's not bad.
Considering the first few was 0, 0,
Yeah,
0.
yeah. Came good at the end.
yeah,
Thanks
so-
to Impact.
Just a little bit under The Ring.
I'm loving this comparison.
I love that this is
So-
a better that this is a a much better movie than Miracle on 34th Street.
Well, but also it's apparently a better movie than Tar, which is could have won Oscars by now. All right, that's enough for our first Robin Hood. Next is the animated Robin Hood, which you can watch on Disney Plus
Little bit of Foxy
from
Robin.
1973. Maid Marian is a vixen. All right, that's it. That is 2 Drink Cinema for this week. No trivia because we're doing Robin Hood for a month.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brett.
Thanks, Lee. Thanks for listening to this episode of 2 Drink Cinema. Make sure you've subscribed so you don't miss any future episodes.
Please share this episode with a friend and leave a rating and review. It goes a long way to help us reach a bigger audience.
This show is produced by Two Brothers Entertainment on the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and we pay our respects and acknowledge their elders past, present and emerging.
Follow us on all your social platforms and join our Facebook group to connect with us. Thanks for listening, happy watching, and please drink responsibly.